Welcome to DIY Family Projects. Stick around and I'll show you how to fix a hole in a drywall. Hi again, this is Mike with HomCo Lumber Hardware. I'm in the paint department as the department lead. This week's project is we're going to repair a hole in drywall. The supplies that you're going to need are, depending on how big a hole we have, is a wall patch, sandpaper, some trowels, mud pan, and of course the drywall mud. Now, starting out, I've done some preliminary work. This one is I have applied, of course the hole wasn't very big, but I have applied the 4x4 patch on here. It's a sticky patch that you can tear the white backing off, and then you just stick it over the hole and it'll stay right there, which makes it a lot easier. Then you take your mud and we'll get some on the trowel. I use a 4-inch trowel to do this with, and then just go over it like this with your trowel. Don't put your trowel like this. Make sure it's pretty flat so you don't rake it all off. And then as you bring it across, make it as smooth as possible, but you're gonna sand this down when it dries, so you won't. Doesn't have to be perfect. So when this dries, and it'll take 3 or 4 hours for it to dry real good. Then there's some dry over here. Well, not as dry as I thought, but there's some dry stuff. You'll just sand it down and make sure it's all smooth after it's dried real good. And then what we'll do, after it dries, we will texture it to match the texture on your wall. So what I've done here is what I call a skip trowel texture. And you can see how it matches. And then there's some high spots. Just sand it down. Just rub it down, basically, until you get it to where it looks good. So you don't have big lumps in it. And that's going to be good for that one. And then you let that dry. Well, it will be dry, but then you can go ahead and paint it. Now, there's a different type, what they call a knockdown texture. And if you don't have an air compressor, the gun to shoot the knockdown on, what I have done before is taken a piece of plastic, or a sandwich bag works real good for this. You get your mud, you put it in a mud pan or whatever you've got that you can reach down into, mix it up with a little water to thin it out, and then just dip it in there, and then you can do the knockdown texture with your plastic bag. Now, you let this set up just a little bit, so that when you come back in with your 4-inch, or we've got a 12-inch broad knife also, but you can just knock it down and it'll make it look like the knockdown texture. And that's about, then let it dry, sand it just a little bit if it's got too big lumps in it, and then paint it. That's about all you have to do to really repair a hole in a wall so that you don't see it. And you can pick up all your supplies naturally here at HomCo Lumber and Hardware, and we offer curbside pickup and free in-town delivery. Also, you can get more information on myhomco.com. Thanks a lot.